Namaste my friends, welcome back to YogaCandi. My name's Candice and today I have a beginner's Vinyasa flow where we're going to be focusing mostly on our hamstrings, getting them stretched out. And as it's a beginner version, I would like you guys to have a couple of yoga blocks or a couple of stacked books, which will be absolutely fine. And then a yoga strap, a belt or a rolled up towel, just something that's long and skinny that we can use when we get a little deeper into some of our poses. Okay, let's start off on our hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hip bones. Just have a nice neutral spine to begin with. Already start to engage your core, so suck in that lower abdomen. Push the base of the feet into the ground and really spread through the fingertips so that you're placing pressure from the hands into the whole of the hand, not just into the wrists or into the palms. We're going to take a few cat-cows here. So on an inhale, drop the belly and look up. Exhale, arch the spine, tuck the tailbone, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch. Take 3 more in your own time. Take 1 more round. Now tuck the toes. We're going to send our fingers a little forward and we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Send the hips right up to the sky, sending the tailbone as far up to the sky as possible, sucking in that lower belly. Now don't worry if your heels are not touching the ground at this point of the practice, no worries at all. It's either down to your genetics or it can even just be down to flexibility, which we're going to be working on. So do your best, don't worry. If they're up here, it's okay. The main thing is to send the tailbone to the sky, suck in the belly and push your shoulder blades apart. Push them so much apart that you're trying to get your armpits to look at each other. Let's take 3 really deep breaths here. Look between the legs. Lift up through the kneecaps. And let's take a really slow walk to the front of the mat. See how long you can keep your legs straight for, and when it comes a point where you need to bend the knees, then do that. We're going to come into our forward fold, bend the knees as much as needed, hold on to the elbows and let's allow the body to open up for us. So take your time here, just hang. Keep with that nice deep breath. Now inhale, halfway lift, look up, bring your hands to your shins, to the knees or to the thighs. Exhale, fold. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Now on the next inhale, let's start to roll the spine all the way into standing. Roll really slowly. Once you come to your standing, inhale the hands above the head. Touch the palms, look up. Exhale the hands to the side of the body. Now close your eyes and allow your hands to hang by the side of the body. Just enjoy this for a moment. And again, inhale the hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, fold all the way from the hips. Bend the knees when you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Now plant the hands. We're going to step this left leg back. So lift it off the ground. Take a nice big step. Now we're coming in for our low lunge. So open up through the hips. Lift that back heel off the ground. Keep the front leg at about a 90-degree angle to the ground as well. We're just going to hold this for a moment, opening up through the quad here on the left side. If this is a bit too difficult for some of you, your props will already come in handy. Place your props on the ground and just lean onto those props. Try to place most of the weight into the front leg and not so much so into the palms. Allow the hips to sink towards the ground, but try not to sink into the bones. Instead, keep the strength between the legs, lift up through that back kneecap. Now, if you don't have your props in place, grab them, place them either side of this front foot of the right leg, and we're going to start to straighten the right leg. You can move the props a little back. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat and lift up through your kneecaps. If you need to add a little bend in the front knee, feel free to do that. Otherwise, just stay up on your props and enjoy the stretch in the hamstring. For those of you that are a little more flexible, you can always bring your fingertips all the way down to the ground. So be where you are today. If you start to notice the body opening up for you, remove your props and come on down. Now, wherever you are, if you're still on the props, let's exhale and bend through the front knee, coming back in for our lunge. Keeping the legs really engaged. You can keep the fingertips onto your block, or you can bring them to your heart center, really feeling the strength of the legs. Hands back to your props and send the hips back, straightening that front leg once again. If you can, if your body's allowing you to open up, start to sink the body a little lower down towards that front leg. But be where you are. With time, this is maybe where you'll be after a few goes of this class. Maybe you'll start to open up more and more. Now let's exhale back into the high lunge, bending the front knee. If you can, release your hands from your props, bring them to your heart center, keep the legs nice and strong. Take a couple of deep breaths. And hands back to the props. This is our last time. Straightening the front leg, taking a nice hamstring stretch, and you may even feel a stretch in that back leg as well, especially in the calf. Lean forward if you can, whenever you want to. And exhale, bend through the front knee. Let's remove our props out of the way. Plant the hands onto the ground, step back into your plank. Keep everything lifted. If you want to drop the knees to the ground, take an easy plank. You can drop them whenever you like. And everybody exhale down to the ground, keeping your elbows close to the body. Inhale for baby cobra, lift the hands off the ground. Exhale, let's all meet in downward facing dog. And take 3 deep breaths here. Once again, take a slow walk to the front of the mat. Take your time, stretching out those hamstrings. Whenever you need to, then bend the knees. Taking a forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale the hands all the way to the sky. Touch the palms above the head. Look up. Exhale, hands to the side of the body. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. Inhale, hands to the sky, touch the palms, look up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Fold as much as you can with the legs straight, and then bend them when you need to. Let's lift up through the right leg, lift it up. Lift it at about a 90-degree angle if you can, and we're going to step all the way back for our lunge. If you can keep the fingertips on the floor, then stay there, feeling that quad opening up here on the right side. If you want to, grab your props, now's the time. Make sure that you're putting most of your weight into your legs and not so much into the palms. Lift up through that back knee, keep the heel of the back foot off of the ground, and allow everything to be really strong here. Now, on an exhale, straighten that front leg, coming in for our hamstring stretch here on the left side. Make sure that you're keeping your hips squared with the front of the mat. And when you feel the body starting to open up, perhaps you can start to dip a little lower. Don't worry if you can't. Be where you are. You may need to just stay up on the fingertips or stay up on your props. Now exhale back into your high lunge. Bend that front knee. You can stay up on your props or bring your hands to your heart center using the strength of the legs to hold you up into the high lunge. Look straight ahead. Look at something that isn't moving. Take one more deep breath. Hands back to the props. Exhale, let's send the hips back, straighten that front leg. We've got 2 more to go. Exhale, bend the front leg, stay up on your props if you need to, or bring the hands to the heart center. High lunge. Take one more deep breath. And plant the hands back on your props, straighten that front leg. Bend forward whenever you can, whenever you want to. Listen to your own body. Exhale, bend the front knee. Stay on your props if you need to, or come up to the heart center. This is our last one. Hands to your props. Straighten the front knee. Now bend the front knee, remove your props, place the palms onto the ground. We're going to step back for our plank. Suck in that lower belly, drop the knees whenever you need to and take an easier version. Now we're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Beginners go all the way to the belly. Strong beginners join me for a chaturanga and an upward facing dog. So everybody exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And come on up to downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Give your legs a little walk out. And become still. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here in our down dog. Inhale the right leg up into the air, only as high as you can lift it. Exhale it in towards your chest and bring it between the palms. If you need to take a few little steps to get there, then that's fine. We're coming back for our lunge. Keep your fingertips on the ground and we're going to drop that back knee very slowly down to the ground. Use your props if you would like to. Come up onto your props. So this back leg is extended behind us with the toes pointed. The front leg is at a 90-degree angle to the mat. Don't allow this knee to extend past the toes, but you can allow the hips just to sink with gravity down towards the ground. Suck in that lower abdomen. And you're welcome to close your eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Wherever you are, if you don't need your props, you can always come down to the fingertips or to the palms. Send the hips back behind you. Straighten this front leg as much as you can. You can always use your props. Send the toes up towards the sky. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat. Send that tailbone to the sky as well. Try to concentrate on sending it up behind you. Keep this hip here on the left side stacked above the knee. Stay up on your props if you're feeling a stretch already and that's enough for you. Or you can always come down to the ground and hang over this front leg, getting deep into the hamstring here on the right side. Wherever you are, close your eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. And release. Tuck the back toes, bend the front leg and lift that back knee off of the ground. You're back into your lunge. Plant the palms onto the ground, step back into your plank. Drop the knees when you're ready. Whenever you need to take the easy version, do that. We're going to exhale all the way to the belly if you like, or to chaturanga, and then take the back bend of your choice. Exhale. Inhale to the back bend of your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. I'll meet you there. Give your dog a little walk if that feels good. And whenever you're ready, become still. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Now inhale the left leg to the sky, as high as you can get it. Exhale, start to bend that knee in towards the chest. And if you need a few steps to get there, let's step it between the palms. Back into our lunge, fingertips on the ground, front knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Let's very slowly bring that back knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes, point the back foot. Come up onto your props if this is a little more comfortable, and allow gravity to do its work. Let your hips sink deeper and deeper towards the ground, getting deeper into this stretch. This time we're stretching out the psoas muscle and the quad here on the right side. If you would like to remove your props and bring your palms either side of the left leg, you can do that. Let's everybody close our eyes. Take our 3 deep breaths. Now let's start to straighten that front leg. When you can't straighten it anymore, bring your props either side of that leg and send the toes up towards the sky for this hamstring stretch here on the left side. If you have the flexibility, remove your props and bring your palms down to the ground. Keep the hips squared with the front of the mat and that knee and hip stacked with each other here on the right, sorry. Wherever you are, feel free to close your eyes, and we're going to take our 3 deep breaths. Now bend through the front leg, lift up off the knee of the back leg. We're going to bring our toes to face the long edge of the mat so that we're in a wide-legged forward fold. Both toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Bring your blocks, I'm going to face you. Bring your blocks to the center of the mat if you don't have the flexibility. And just lean on your blocks, sending your tailbone up towards the sky. Try to see if you can keep your hamstrings nice and your legs nice and straight. If you can't, put a little bend. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have the flexibility and you want to bring your hands down to the mat, then you can always bring your hands down. Or you can always just allow the body to hang really heavy. Bringing the hands between the feet and just rest there. So whichever variation works for your body. Let's take a moment in this wide-legged forward fold. It's so sweet. I have our cat staring at me the whole time I'm doing this. I'm sure the camera's picking him up. Sometimes he just likes to watch. Take one more deep breath wherever you are. Bring your hands to your hips, and on an inhale, using the strength of your legs, lift yourself up to standing. Wonderful. Now rotate that left foot so that it's facing back out towards the long edge of the mat. Start to sink down into the hip. Lift up off the heel of the back leg so that you're squaring your hips with the front of the mat back into the high lunge. We're going to bring our palms to frame the front foot and step back into our plank. Take the easy version of plank whenever you want. And everybody, let's exhale all the way down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, or take a full cobra. Exhale down. Take your legs as wide as the mat, so your knees as wide as the mat, toes touching each other. Don't worry if your bum is not sitting on your heels like mine. With time that might happen. We're going to start to come down for our wide-legged child's pose. Start to walk your hands out in front of you And bring your forehead to the ground or your chest and your chin, whichever feels most comfortable. Take 2 really nice deep breaths here. And then walk your hands back towards the body. Bring your knees together. And we're going to extend our legs out in front of us. This is where your strap is going to come in handy. So grab the strap, the belt, or whatever it is you had handy for this. If you don't actually have a yoga strap, it doesn't matter. So, with the knees bent, let's very slowly start to release the spine all the way down to the ground. I'm sure this is going to feel lovely. Once you're there, extend the left leg. Keep the left leg nice and long. We're going to lift the right leg up into the sky. Now this is where your prop comes in handy. Bend your leg and place the prop on that right foot. And we're going to use this prop to pull the right leg down towards the body. Only go as far as you can. When you feel that stretch and you think, oh yeah, that's a good one, then just stop there. If you need to put a little micro bend into that knee, then feel free to do that as well. Of course, if you have the flexibility, remove your prop and just grab somewhere on the leg, pulling it down towards the body. Now play around with this. Play around with extending the foot, pointing the toes. So flexing and pointing. Play around with it. Maybe even roll the ankle in one direction and roll it in the other. And then become still. And again, let's take our 3 deep breaths here. Close your eyes. And slowly release that right leg. Take your hands out by the side. Keep that right leg in the air. Point the toes and very slowly drop that leg to the ground as slowly as you can using your core muscles. And let's lift up through the left leg this time. Get it as high as you can. Use your prop wherever you need to. Bend the leg, get it on the foot, and use that to pull the foot down towards the body. Now play around, pointing the toes and flexing. Maybe rotate the ankle. And then become still, close your eyes and take our 3 deep breaths. And release. Keep that leg lifted. Hands by the side of the body. Point the toes as slowly as you can. Let's lower that left leg down to meet the right as slowly, slowly, slowly. And once you're there, let's bend the knees and we're going to take a figure 4. So bend both of them. Bring the left knee close to the bum. Lift up through the right leg and open it out so that the hip is now open. Flex the toes up towards the ceiling and you can always use your strap for this. Lift that left leg off the ground. If you can't reach behind the leg, use your strap and pull that leg towards the body. This is opening up through the right hip. If you can grab behind the left leg and pull it towards the body, giving a really lovely stretch here on the right side. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths once again. And release. Wherever you are, let go. Extend that right leg to the sky, point the toes, and then bend it down. Bring the heel close to the bum. This time lift the left leg. Open it out so that you're opening the hip into your figure 4. Point the toes up to the sky. Use your prop if you need to behind the right leg. We're going to lift the right leg off the ground. If you can grab behind the right leg, fantastic, and pull it in towards the body. Try to keep the tailbone onto the ground. Don't allow the hips to lift up too much here. You can use the elbow of the left arm to push the left leg even further away, opening more deeply into that hip. Let's take our 3 deep breaths. And slowly release. Release that right leg down to the ground, extend the left leg up to the sky, point the toes, and draw it all the way back down. Let's extend through the legs. We're coming in for our final resting pose, Savasana. Allow the legs to be a little wider than hip distance apart. Hands a couple of inches away from the body, palms up towards the sky. Close your eyes, tuck your shoulder blades underneath the body. Face up to the ceiling. Allow everything to be completely heavy here. Just breathe into it. Enjoy the sensations of the body. Allow everything to be so heavy that even the tongue within the mouth is light. Allow the tip of the tongue to press against the teeth and the rest of the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Relax that space between the eyebrows. Relax each and every fingertip. Relax that lower spine. Relax both of your legs and your feet. Allow them just to fall heavy. Allow your breath to be completely natural. Pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and out. Take notice of how the body feels now that you've done your practice. Maybe it feels looser, lighter. Perhaps less achy. However it is that you feel, show gratitude and love to each part of the body. Take a moment here for complete silence. Breathing in and out of the nose and allowing the lips to part. I'll be with you for 1 minute, but you're welcome to stay as long as you like. For those of you ready to finish your practice with me, start to wiggle your fingertips and then your toes. And lift your palms off the ground with the eyes still closed. Let's rotate the palms and the feet in one direction and then in the other. On an inhale, reach the hands up above your head and really stretch out the body as if you're just waking up first thing in the morning. And then roll over onto one side of the body. With the eyes still closed, let's just take one deep inhale and a deep exhale. On your next inhale, lift yourself up into a comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. Take your hands to your heart center. Rub them together and create a nice warm friction between them. Then place those palms over the eyes. Take a deep breath in and notice the warm energy throughout the body and in the hands. Open the eyes between the palms, behind the palms, and release the hands from the face. You can open your eyes. Namaste. I hope you've all enjoyed this class today, and I hope you find it helpful if you're a complete beginner. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I would love to know, and if you would like something a little easier or a little harder next time, also give me some feedback. I would love to know. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Who doesn't love free yoga? Until next time, everybody, it's wonderful that we can do this together. Until then, namaste.